Today we're going to do something really simple and basic. We're going to take about a 3.5 to 4 inch brass stamping that's been plated like this one here in the foreground. It's a dragonfly, which is a very popular motif. We're going to drill holes in its wings. I'm not going to drill them on camera for lack of time, but you can do it with a hole punch. And then we're going to bend it, which I am going to show you how to bend it. And then when you're done with it, all you have to do is put about 5.5 inches of chain doubled over and a toggle clasp. I like to put it on the outer knuckle for ease of on and off. And then you've got a beautiful bracelet, as you can see here. Another example is this one. This is a Nouveau lady. I've simply bent her a little bit, drilled it out, and then added a piece of chain, one of my little beady charmies that we did in another video. And that's all there is to it. So come on over here to the workbench with me, and I'm going to show you how to go about bending a finding, because a lot of people ask me. There's very many ways that you can do it. Most of them are harder than they need to be. So we'll talk about a few of them, and then pretty soon you're going to be making bracelets out of everything. So get on over here with me and let's get started. Okay, so now we have, as you can see, an assortment of flat stampings that would work for this application. I've made bracelets out of this many times, and some of you have too, or you may have seen bracelets made out of this. The way I would approach this one is by curling the end first, and you need to have a little curl or an aglet on the end so that you're going to be able to put a jump ring through to attach. So these are bail making pliers. We carry Bead Smith brand, and we have them at the site. This is the medium-sized pair. And I'm just going to take this little tip first of all, and I'm going to just roll it a little bit. And I'll probably finish this off with just a regular pliers. This just kind of gets it going. And then I take a regular pair of pliers and just finish it. And of course, you know, because we're on camera, it won't be as good as if we weren't. But I think it gives you the idea, and that's the main thing. See what I did? That's so that you can put your jump ring through. Okay, so now we have to bend this. I want it to go across my wrist like this. This is our new chocolate kiss brass. So I have to get to bend, because of course like that, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my fingers right here, putting my thumb like this, and just very gently press out. Now this is a little bit sturdy in the middle, so it may require a little bit more force, and we may have to use tools eventually. But you'd be surprised how many pieces that you can simply roll with your fingertips, and you don't need things like bracelet mandrels. Some people use a ball bat, which is fine. Some people use a barbell, which is fine. You know, whatever's easier for you is great. At the end, we don't want it to be wonky, which this is a little bit wonky. You could just take a bracelet mandrel, which is this apparatus here. Now when you use a bracelet mandrel, for this piece, of course, you want to go put it, you know, where it's going to fit more. And you have to use a rawhide mallet, which sometimes we have and sometimes we don't, because I don't like really bracelet mandrels. I'm not really great with them, but this is one way to do it. And you're going to see I'm not great, so please no criticism, but it's going to give you the idea. Just tap. See, I just banged myself. That's why I don't like this stuff. You know, I like to make it easy if I can. For some of you, using these tools is easy. I like to go another route if I can. Okay, but I've got more of a bend to it now. As you can see, it's beginning to fit my wrist. So, moving this up a little bit, I'm going to continue here. Just pressing. You know those great big 5-inch flats that I have on my site, if you're familiar with my site, they're like huge, 2 inches wide. People make cuffs out of them. I never use one of these with that. I always use my fingers. Usually you start in the middle and you just press out. Now this type of a one can get a little bit of wonky, so it takes some working. Again, if you're good with the bracelet mandrel and you're used to using a hammer on it and, you know, getting it to not roll out, and you've got tricks, then it's a good way to go. The main thing is you don't want to mar this. So, you know, using it this way, you got to be careful you don't apply too much pressure so that you mar it. But as you can see, I'm getting there, you know. It's just bending it. And you don't want to be too rough with it either, because sometimes there are places in the stamping that may not have a lot of room and you could get it and break it. So you don't want to do that. That's just about right. I have a little bit more bending to do and then I'm good. But I want to do one of my silver dragonflies so you can see it start to finish. So that's what I'm going to do next. Alright, so you can see I have one bent here already. And he fits really good. And I did do him on the mandrel. The way I did it was I took it and I just put it, you know, going up wider in the mandrel because my wrist is not small. You can measure the mandrel even to see like if it's the same as your wrist or whatever. I just tend to, you know, eyeball it, see where you want to go. But see how soft this metal is? It's rigid, it's strong, it's sturdy, but I can pretty much do this with my fingers against the mandrel. Okay, so I've got my start. Okay, now I have to get the ends down. That's where it gets tricky. So if we can move over this way a little bit. And I'm just going to tap on it, trying again, curling my fingers back to get them out of the way. And again, this is a rawhide mallet, which is better for you to use, because if you use something like this, you're going to have ding marks all over it. So you don't want to use a steel one. Okay, again, curling my fingers back. And I'm bending that down. Now let's see where it's at as far as my wrist is concerned. I've got a ways to go yet. But the rest of this I'm probably going to end up doing by hand. Just putting my thumb pressure again in there and just bending it. This gave me, you know, banging on it a little bit kind of softened it a little bit so that I could get in there and get it done. Can you see? It's a little bit wonky. You can straighten that out by continuing on the mandrel, which I might just do right here a little bit. Curling those fingers back. I have to remind myself of this stuff all the time too. Like I said, I'm not crazy about these things, but they're a good thing to have. But you can do the same thing with something else that's metal or a barbell or ball bat. A lot of people like a ball bat. I'm into using my fingers as much as I can. Okay, I'm about there. So what I might do now is take my bail makers, my big ones. These are the great big ones that we carry at this site. And just very lightly pull it in, because I don't want to go too hard, because if I do, then I'll mar it, and I don't want to mar it. So it's still nice. How's it? Look at that. Look at that. See, guys? That's going to fit me so nice. And that took no time at all, did it? No time at all. Okay, we're going to finish this now. Let me move the mandrel away. I'm going to step over this way and bring out my bench block. Now, you guys all have one of these, right? Now, this is not something you have to do. In fact, because I bent this, I might have to use this one. I like to finish my holes with a little tube rivet. So here he is. There he was. Are we going to have one of those videos again, like the pearl balls I was putting ice enamel on and it rolled away? I hope not. Okay. Just seating that down over there. I really should have done this when it was flat. That is what I recommend for you. Really, might just want to back up. I don't know, lately anytime I try to do something, it just... So I haven't made a video for a little while, guys. Okay. You can see it's gone through here. I like to put the rolled edge out front. Once I get this down, I'll show you how I did that. Now I have a ball peen hammer. This is a ball peen. I like to use a ball peen in. A lot of people use a rivet setter. I kind of like to go freehand. You got to be careful you don't hit yourself, but just tap it. You want to be very gentle. And just kind of, maybe sometimes a little work working motion there, just kind of pushing it a little bit. Okay, it's down. See how nice that looks on the outside? That looks so nice and finished. I'll give it a little tap there. Now, I'll take an awl and I go through my hole just to make sure that I've got lots of space, you know, that I didn't close it on itself. I did a good job. Despite all that, despite the fact that I should have done this when it was flat first, which I meant to do earlier, but I don't script these because they just seem so sterile. I just can't do a video like that. I want it to be like you're here with me. Okay, so you can see I inserted again, the round side out. It has to be steel to steel, metal to metal, and again, keeping my finger out of the way very lightly. Very, very light. Tap, tap, tap with the ball peen end. Tap, 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 tap. And of course, if you know a better way, then I'm happy for you. This is how I do it. Have I ever hit my finger with a hammer? Yeah. And I challenge you, after many years of doing this, to tell me that you've never done it either. Try not to do it, though. Keep your fingers out of the way. All right. Run this through here. All right. Good. Do you know we're almost done? Rob's saying, yeah, because he wants to go to the movies tonight. All right. So now what I need are my little pliers, and of course I've got my jumpy tool. Can't be without my jumpy tool. I insert my tool, my jump into the tool like this, and I'm going to take my 5.5 inches of chain, and I am going to look for a long end, and I can pull up and make this about even. So it might be this one here. I might have to clip it. Let's see. I had this, I thought. I want to get this totally even. Well, that's about it. I can fix that. Okay, so now I'm going to put that through. And I want this guy to go this way with the toggle on this side, so I'll put it through here. I will close this carefully, and of course when I do that, I want to get this really, really good and flush, so that you almost can't even tell. Looks like it's soldered. Okay, now I'm going to pull this, and I've got a stray piece. So I'm going to take my good little cutters, and I need to get these last two off. So I'm going to cut it. Alright, now I'm going to take another jump ring, put it in my little jumpy tool, and there we go. Now I'm ready to attach my little bar. Very good. That's done. Now I got to put the other end on, so that goes on that end. So now I need this. This again, I insert it in there. It makes it so much easier with the jumpy tool. Okay, put that in there. I want this to go this way. It's a pretty clasp. I can't remember where I got this. I don't carry them. I do know that. Okay, get a nice good flush. Alright, we're done, guys. Look at that. What a pretty bracelet. How easy was that? So pretty, so easy. Ready to wear. So all you need is your measurement so that you know how much chain to cut. Usually for me 5.5 inches, and as you see I double it. Fits for me, and I have a medium large wrist, which is about 7.25, 7.25. So that works good for me. Again, with this you could use some sari ribbon to come across. You would put a jump here. I'm gonna have to work on this a little bit. I might have to get my good old mandrel out because I can see I've got a bend in it. I don't want that. I'm not crazy about the mandrel. There's other things you can use, and so many times, like I say, it's just your good old fingers. But keep your fingers safe, keep them away from that hammer, and let me know what you've done. And if you are interested in this Dragonfly, it is Silwar, S-I-L-W-A-R 05820 at our website, and we do have a lot of them in stock as of today, October 11th, I'm living in the last century. October 11th, 2013. So, have fun with that. You can use hole punches, you can use a drill, whatever, to make your holes. Remember, the 2 rivets is a nice way to finish your holes, and just have a good time and be safe.